This amazing vehicle is Arvada Police Department's newest police cruisers. It doesn't come from the factory looking like this. It takes a full week to customize this vehicle. Stay tuned, we'll find out how they do that. Hi, I'm Counselor Bob Pfeiffer. With me today is Commander Lee Pinover with the Arvada Police Department. Thanks for joining us.
You bet, my pleasure.
So this is not our typical Crown Vic police car anymore. So why don't you tell me a little bit about this vehicle?
That's right. This is the newest generation of Arvada police vehicle. This is a 2013 Ford Police Interceptor Utility. It was a vehicle that we recently chose to replace the Crown Victoria police vehicle.
There's some new graphics, some new features. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the features?
Pretty much bumper to bumper. This is a purpose-built, completely re-engineered vehicle specifically for police use. We conducted an extensive research project in 2011 and into 2012 when Ford Motor Company announced that they were going to stop building the Crown Victoria police car. That's a vehicle that we had driven for many years, and in fact probably one of the most popular police vehicles in the country. So when Ford told us they were going to stop building the Crown Victoria, we knew we were going to need to find a replacement for that vehicle.
So this vehicle seems a lot different than a regular Ford Explorer.
Oh, it absolutely is. All of the features and police-specific items make this a very unique vehicle. But what's interesting about that, Bob, is the fact that even though this vehicle comes to us from the factory with all of those things already on it or in it, it's not an Arvada police car yet. Our fleet maintenance folks do a remarkable job of equipping the vehicle both inside and out to actually turn it into the Arvada police car that our citizens see out on the streets.
And there's some new graphics with this vehicle. This is not a typical black and white vehicle anymore.
Right. Well, the Crown Victorias were all black and white, and that was a painted vehicle. This is an all-black vehicle. And so when we get the vehicle from the factory, then we go through a process called vehicle wrapping. So all of the graphics that you see on this vehicle are a high-tech, very durable vinyl decal, basically. But we have those applied to the vehicle. And the neat thing about that is that not only is it less expensive than painting the vehicle, but then when it comes time to sell the vehicle, all of those vinyl wraps come completely off the vehicle. So we'll have an all-black, high-performance utility vehicle for resale.
Can you explain a little bit about the fuel efficiency? You know, is it two-wheel, four-wheel drive, all-wheel drive? Can you tell us a little bit more technical details on that vehicle?
Sure. This vehicle is the first specific purpose-built police vehicle that has a full-time all-wheel drive system built into it. Now, police departments have driven four-wheel drive vehicles for many years. The problem with that is that they don't tend to hold up very well under heavy police use. This is a completely different breed. It's got a purpose-built from the factory specifically for police use all-wheel drive system. It's coupled with a very advanced traction control system and a stability control system. Makes this vehicle extremely safe to drive in all conditions, but particularly in adverse conditions like snow and rain, when those things do occur here in Colorado. But that certainly makes it a much safer vehicle for our officers to drive on the roadway. Something that really impressed us with this particular vehicle, Bob, is the fact that we're going to anticipate about a 20% increase in fuel economy over the Crown Victoria police vehicle that we're used to driving. And considering the fact that we go through a lot of fuel in our patrol vehicles, if we're anywhere close to 20%, that's going to be a significant savings for us.
Absolutely.
The initial acquisition of the Interceptor Utility was 15 vehicles, and those are replacement vehicles, so they aren't additional vehicles to our fleet numbers. So we're replacing old Crown Victorias because, of course, they go through a lot of wear and tear. They get tired. We've got a number of Crown Victorias that are ready for retirement. And so as we're able to build and equip one of these new vehicles, then we just replace an old Crown Victoria. And so our process right now is to get these 15 on the road as soon as we can, and then we'll just go from there with the next 15 vehicles that we get.
Well, Commander Pinover, I really appreciate your time today and all your information, and thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And now let's meet up with the Fleet Division. With me is Del Carabetta, the Fleet Manager of the division that transforms these vehicles. Thank you very much, Del, for coming out today.
It's our pleasure.
This vehicle comes in as a functional car, and then your team actually deassembles this whole thing, and then starts figuring out how to put it back together to meet the needs of police department.
Well, it's actually three departments, Bob. It's police department is the primary user. We have to ensure that everything is uniform within the car. There's ergonomics issues that we have to look at in the car. the dependability of the car. A lot of folks don't know the amount of technology that is inside this. We'll start out by pulling 180 feet of cable. Wow. That provide all the power and things to a laptop, a remote screen and a keyboard, a vehicle location device that monitors the vehicle throughout its day for dispatch needs. 1,400 feet of wire that functions everything, 51 LED lights that have to function. We have prisoner partitions, seats that we have to custom fit for the back for the prisoner sections. We have to incorporate gun locks for shotguns and M4 rifles. So a lot of things have to go in here, keeping in mind we can't interfere with any safety system that's already here,
right?
Such as airbags and things like that.
So that's a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
You know, one thing I'm going to bring up that I've always been impressed with you and your department is how innovative your team is and how you think of the little things, working with your partners in the police department and in information technology. But you sit there and you think of little things to make the vehicle just a little bit safer, a little bit more efficient.
We have to be able to, once it's installed, maintain that stuff.
Right.
So ease of access to those components once they're put in. The big part is listening to the police department and finding out their needs. Where do we need this located? Right. And we have to make it work while not interfering with another system. One of the things that we have to do is make sure each car is exactly the same. So we will, at the start, the very first car, start to develop templates so we can ensure that every hole is in the same location on every vehicle.
Some other neat features that you've put in here, like the dark reflective tape and safety features at night, because this is an all-black vehicle.
Absolutely.
So you also enhance some of the lighting on it.
We've added in some LED lighting here. That way, if the catch is open from the rear, folks still see flashing light. One of the big concerns we have is intersections. Everything you see on a police car is either front or backlit. This particular vehicle, we're lighting up the sides in multiple locations, mirrors in these quarter windows. As they go through the intersection, we have side light. On the front push bumper, we've added quite a bit of lighting to help clear that intersection. Lights being straight from the side and angled at a 45 degree. So we try to keep it as safe as possible when they have to run code.
Can you tell me a little bit about the differences between the old vehicle and maybe the new vehicle from a fleet perspective?
It's learning a whole new vehicle. We were using the Crown Vic since 1996, so we were quite familiar with it, and now it's a whole new package.
Right.
So we have to start from scratch. We have to learn this vehicle.
Are you buying new parts, reusing? How does that all come together?
Some parts are new, and some are reused from the current Crown Vic. Anything that is not vehicle specific, such as light bars, the consoles, some of the computer mounts, and some of the electronic components are reused from the current Crown Victorias.
And that's great. That's absolutely great that we do as much reuse as possible.
Yep, absolutely.
What is comparable to this vehicle?
Actually, as part of the investigation process that we did in researching the new vehicle, I was quite surprised to find out that this vehicle actually costs less than its sedan counterpart.
How long does it take to get a vehicle from when it first comes in to get out on the street?
It takes approximately 6 days, and that includes the strip out of the old unit.
So 6 full days for this vehicle, from start to finish, one vehicle, right? How many employees are working on this vehicle when they?
2 to 3.
Wow,
2 to 3
6 days.
employees in 6 days.
That's a lot of work to see it come from a workable, stripped down, all the way up to a working police vehicle.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
great job.
Thank you.
And that's how they do that.